evening from Richmond, Kentucky on the campus of Eastern Kentucky University. It's the second night of the girls' 11th region basketball tournament. It's the final first round game as the Western Hills Lady Wolverines take on the Lady Generals of Lafayette. Good evening and welcome to high school basketball on PrepSpin. Darren Douglas along with Coach Scott Thru of Lexington Catholic. And Coach, we've seen some pretty good performances by teams that were supposed to win in the opening night of the tournament last night. Tonight, Bryan Station victorious over Madison Central. Tonight, again, heavy favorite Lafayette over Western Hills, but Western Hills has been playing pretty good down the stretch.
They did. They won a tough game in their district to get here, and then they had to play Franklin County District Finals. Tough for anybody. I think really tough challenge tonight. They're going to have a hard time matching up with Lafayette's zone in the half court, the 2-3, the 1-2-2, the 3-2 that they play. They'll match up with Western Hills. I think, again, it's critical for Western Hills to get some perimeter jump shots early and move that zone out and then try to go inside out a little bit about it. When you talk about Lafayette, you got to start with Garrett Pankins. They've got to find a way to keep Garrett Pankins off the glass, and they've got to find a way to limit her production tonight for Lafayette.
Pankins, as we Coach mentioned, averaging about 21 points a game and 9 rebounds per game. So she's been starting since her 8th grade year for Coach Allison Denton, who, believe it or not, is in her 15th year at Lafayette.
Yes, sir.
That makes me feel very, very old.
Well, I've been coaching against her since her first year there, so I'm right there with you. So.
Yeah. Well, it's no secret. Everybody knows that's listened to our broadcast. She is related to me, so I have an issue, the fact that she still looks as young as she did when she was in high school when I was watching her play as a broadcaster. Now she has 2 children and still looks in her mid-20s, which makes me angry. But Coach Ray Ritchie for Western Hills has done a really nice job of turning around a program that had really hit rock bottom. And I'm not trying to offend anybody from Western Hills, but it really had hit a low for that program. They had some pretty good years back in the mid-'80s when they first became a program on the boys' side especially. The girls' side had some players that were really good. Sonia Ritchie, who just happens to be the sister of Ray, the head coach. Also Lisa Bowling. But what really got them started was their very first year. They had a young lady by the name of Connie Goins.
Yes.
And Connie is now an assistant coach for Western Hills. She has the distinction of being somewhere in the top 5 in both programs as the top 5 scorer in both programs' history. Franklin County and Western Hills.
Very nice player, and he's done a really good job this year. They remind me a little bit of Madison Southern. Scrappy, they're going to play hard. They're not going to back down. They're pretty hard-nosed. Again, they're a little undersized, but they're going to get after you and try to get you in the half court with some pressure. And they're going to have to help tonight on Pankins. And I think another big thing for Lafayette, and they got this toward the end of the season, they started shooting it a little better. If they have to double on Pankins, you have to double her on the block, or she's going to score. On the kick out, can Lafayette consistently hit the perimeter jump shot? And if they're doing that, they're really, really tough to guard because you can't foul Pankins either because she shoots about 85% from the foul line. So it's just a tough matchup for anybody trying to guard her on the block. But it gets doubly tough when she can kick it out and those shooters are knocking down jump shots. 2
seniors on this Western Hills roster, Taylor Slade and LaKenzie Ritchie. Now, LaKenzie Ritchie is one of those players that you need to watch for Western Hills. She is probably their most consistent scorer, although the girl that had the biggest district tournament for the Lady Wolverines was a lady by the name of Alexis True, a sophomore. She's the one that got them into the championship game of the 41st District in overtime with 0.8 seconds to play, hit a jump shot against Woodford County.
Well, they're going to need both of them tonight, and they're going to need them from the perimeter, and they're going to need them to take care of the ball. Again, if Lafayette can get in that zone and get you pinned on the side, you're in trouble. So Western Hills is want to go side to side, reverse the ball, make the zone spread out, look for lanes to drive possibly, and then knock down the perimeter jump shot.
A couple of a senior and a sophomore to watch it besides Pankins for Lafayette. It's Aisha Conwell, the senior, averaging 5 points, 5 rebounds a game. She has to come up big scoring. She has to be one of those other scorers besides Pankins. And then the other girl that you need to watch is Terry Abram, a sophomore, averages 7 points a ball game, and she had a really nice district tournament.
Well, she did. She got him going in the second half and got out in front, got in transition, got some easy buckets. And again, that's something that Western Hills has got to worry about. Again, if they turn you over that matchup zone, she's out in front of it, and she's very tough to catch in the rundown.
Well, we've got Lafayette dressed in the white with the navy blue and red trim. They'll be the home team on the scoreboard. They'll be moving right to left on your computer screen as you look at it, or your television screen. I got a good friend of mine who texted me just as I walked in the building, said, I've got you all on my big 78-inch plasma screen television. I'm in the man cave, so he's in trouble with his wife again.
There's worse places to get into the man cave, though.
And he's down in San Antonio, Texas. So, Kevin, I gave you a cheap plug. Lady Wolverines for Coach Ray Ritchie. As we pan out, you get to a look at the far side. You see the lady back there standing just to the left of the scores table. That is Connie Goins, a legend here in high school basketball in the state of Kentucky.
Very good plays, and it's nice that she's getting back to the game now, too.
As a matter of fact, she's a heck of a softball player, too, in her day. Hit the ball farther than I've ever seen a girl hit it. How do you do that? I just happened to be an umpire in that game. Went to Duke University, of course. First player, Alexis True, the sophomore for the Lady Wolverines, and she is tough as nails.
She's a hard-nosed group. They're going to play hard tonight. I don't think they'll back down, but I do think they get a good start tonight that would really help them if they can get out of the first couple minutes and hit some buckets early.
Ritchie is the other young lady, 9.8 points per ball game. True is averaging 11.9. Number 12, Taylor Slade. She is their forward/center. And Slade averages 13.5 points per ball game. And number 14 is Catherine Mango. Mango's a sophomore. And Mango is averaging 6.1. The final starter is Casey Anglin, a sophomore for Coach Ritchie, averaging 3.1 points per ball game. So a couple of players to watch. As I mentioned, Taylor Slade, Alexis True, both the double-figure scores, and Mackenzie Ritchie. Though the ball will be in their hands quite a bit tonight.
It will. And Slade's probably going to have unenviable task of trying to keep Hankins off the boards, too. So it'll be big to watch to make sure she can stay out of foul trouble.
First starter for Lafayette and Coach Allison Denton, Lindy Delbazon, a freshman, and Delbazon is averaging 4.1 points per ball game. Second starter, Caroline Bennett, a sophomore. Bennett is averaging 9.3. Kiara Pankins, 20.9 points per ball game, and Pankins is a junior. Doesn't seem like she should be a junior already.
I'm ready for her to be a junior. She can be a senior.
Then number 24 is Terry Abram, a sophomore. Abram is averaging 7.2 points per ball game. And then Aisha Conwell, a senior. Conwell is averaging 4.7 points per ball game. Now, if I get Aisha and Amani mixed up, they're sisters. And I don't know how many times last year, Coach, I got them mixed up in the same game. I had family listening and watching, and boy, sure, my text message blew up.
Sure.
Here we go. Lafayette in the white, Western Hills in the black. And the tip controlled, surprisingly, by Western Hills. This is Ritchie. Off to True on the right side. In the right corner it goes to Mango. Out high it comes to Anglin. Around to Slade. Now True has it. The 2-3 zone at the top of that zone. And I knew I was going to,
Bills on and Abrams up top.
Bills on. I knew I was going to mess that name up before the night was over, and I did it early, so I got it out of the way. High post they go. They swing it around to Ritchie. Now to True. Now Western Hills, they will not force too many shots. They'll play against his zone. If you give them for 2.5 minutes, they'll play against it. They don't care.
That's a better pace for them. Tough shot there, though.
Now Slade misses the runner along the baseline just as soon as I said he wouldn't force one, they did. Ball slips out of the hands of Abram, but the Bills on has it in the right corner. They go down low to Pankins. They swarm inside her, forces it up, no good, goes and tips it. And the rebound controlled by Anglin for Western Hills. This is Ritchie. Down the lane, laid it up, got it.
Very nice take. Good start for Western Hills. They didn't score the first possession, but the ball works a couple times, and then they get the layup in transition.
Good drive for Western Hills, and Western Hills on top first. Here's three for the Bills on from the left side. Good. Excuse me, that's Caroline Bennett with the first field goal for Lafayette. 3-2 Lady Generals, a minute and a half in. A 2-3 zone from Lafayette. You'll see this all night long, the matchup. They go in the corner to Anglin. Gets it back out to True. Meets the pass. Nice job from her. Over Pankins, no good. Rebounded by Bennett. Gives it off to Abram. Down low, Pankins. Turns on Slade. Put it up and in. A foul coming up on Taylor Slade.
That's big because you get a foul early on the biggest player. Pankins again just runs the floor, sits down the block, throw the ball. If you let her get that deep, she's going to score.
And the thing is, too, you got to put ball pressure, too.
You need to make the pass into her a little tougher, and they kind of backed off the passer, and she dumped it right in there to her.
Pankins' free throw is no good. Rebounded by Slade. 5-2 Lady Generals. 2 minutes into this one. The winner gets Bryan Station on Friday night for the second semifinal game. Slade in the right corner to Anglin. Knocked away by Abram. I'm looking at the roster here for Lafayette. They have 5 middle schoolers that are playing dressing varsity. 3 7th graders and a couple of 8th graders. And I've heard, I think it's Priggy that is the one to watch as an 8th grader.
Yeah, she's going to be nice.
They swing it around to True on the left wing. Inside it goes to Mango, who misses a short 8-footer, and a rebound cleared off by Bennett.
Now Western Hills really needs that shot to go down. That's a nice pass with Little Lane. They missed a couple ones that you really need to make tonight if they're going to hurt that zone.
Traveling coming up on Bills on. And for Lafayette, that's their first turnover. 5:25 to play. Came in, I was hoping I wouldn't be as flustered looking as I was driving down the road this evening. Listening to the Cats play, and that was killing me. Up 6, but they had 15-2 in fouls.
Yes, it wasn't a real good first half.
No, but so I know people thought I was crazy because I was looking down and screaming at my radio. This is True. High post to Slade, put it on the floor, knocked away by Bennett, into the hands of Pankins. She'll lead the break. Splits 2 defenders and didn't get the roll. Tipped back into the hands of Anglin, ahead to True. True working on Abram, and a foul coming up on Abram.
It's a good take. Challenging transition, picked up the foul.
Well, Alexis True, probably the biggest shot of her career at any age. Last Wednesday night to put the Lady Wolverines in the championship game of their district tournament. And it came with 0.8 seconds to play.
It's a big shot for a sophomore.
Misses the first free throw. This is a lost art at any level, this free throw shooting.
It really is. It's been a tough go of it. It decides so many games when you look at it. You really need to hit these things and shoot at a high percentage, especially in the postseason.
And it might be even more pronounced at the professional level. Got so many guys shooting under 50%, it's not even funny. Sure. She hits the second, 5-3. Lafayette with the basketball and the lead. They go high post. And taken away from Conwell by True. True drives again, steps back. Going to be called for traveling.
Shuffle her feet on that one. Again, the athleticism running at her. And she kind of hesitated. She might have been better off just to go on and challenge, try to draw the foul.
Well, either that or jump stop. That's where the ball came. She didn't jump stop. And they call that when you basically come to a running stop. The Bills on in the right corner. High post Pankins. Back to Abram. Around here to Bennett. Neither team is substituted. They got double team around. Conwell gets it back out. Bennett 3, right, the left side, good.
That's a big shot. That's 2 for her. It's going to spread that Western Hills zone defense out further, which is going to open the post up for Pankins a little more.
Mango took a half step back, and Bennett said, well, if you're going to take this step back, I'll take this shot. 8-3 in favor of Lafayette. Now, they're not as high a scoring a team as they were a year ago, Lafayette. Anglin has it blocked by DeBilzon. Thru gets it. Thru. Back to Mango, to Slade in the right corner. Ritchie. No good. Rebounded by Slade. Put it on the floor and hit the foot of the Lafayette player into the hands of DeBilzon. Drives right side, and Thru going to be called for the reach in. They're going to get you when you come across the body when you reach.
Number 2, Thru. That's her.
Well, and that's right there, trying to get back and stop Lafayette in transition is hard because you know Pankins is out in front is coming.
Right.
So you don't get the ball stopped, and even if you do, you force up a bad shot. Pankins is so good about cleaning that up for them.
That's another lost art, too, is the end of the game for a lot of Western Hills. And no number 3 on the roster here that we have given to us. It's Murvik.
Yep.
Murvich.
Actually just got a different number than what's on the roster.
Okay. Well, the roster they gave us has her listed as number 1. So immediately we get a curveball thrown at us.
A little too early, though. We can recover.
Yeah, and I've always had trouble with the curveball. Here's Slade, shoots it from 3 and shot it way too hard. Rebound clear by Bennett for Lafayette. Abram, DeBilzon, lets 3 go, right corner. High archer, rims in and out. Thru with a rebound for Hills. And go, gives it off to Murvik. And Thru going to be called for her second foul, and that's a big foul for Western Hills.
Yeah, that really is, and not a good play there. Wasn't a good pass back there. She tried to make the hustle play get back. Ended up running up the back of the Lafayette player. Last 2 possessions, though, you can feel it. Western Hills are a little less patient, missed a couple shots early. They forced a couple, and Lafayette's now beginning to get what they want.
Now, Anglin, actually, I think it was Ritchie, and here's a travel coming up on DeBilzon. Actually, I think it was Ritchie had another shot in the right corner and passed it up to give it down to the short corner.
Sure. You've got to take good shots. You have to, and what makes it hard, you have to be so disciplined to get that zone. And then when you get a good shot, you really need to make it, or they make you pay for it.
Got to be ready to catch and shoot it. Just because you miss one does not mean you're going to miss the next one. Here's a steal by Bennett for Lafayette. But Western Hills getting the ball into the middle of that zone, though. Here's a drive and good by Abram, and it's a 12-3 ball game in 2:21 with 30 seconds timeout called by Coach Ritchie for Western Hills. You can tell his ball club is young. He has a couple of seniors, 3 sophomores, make it 4 sophomores, a couple of juniors, and then 4 freshmen make up his roster on the varsity level.
Well, and they look a little rattled. Again, I think it was really big. Like you said, they got the ball in the middle of the zone, missed a couple from 10, 15 feet. Those didn't go. And then I know from experience, you miss those, and you start to press a little bit, and then Lafayette really gets you sped up. They get you to take bad shots, and then they're in transition, and then you're having all kinds of issues. You've really got to shoot well against this group to make that zone do something different, because if you don't, they get comfortable, and then you're in trouble because they're just so long. They move really well, they talk, and they get hands-on passes, and it looks like there's 6 of them out there a lot of times.
Well, plus they don't really play a zone that is packed in on the paint. They match up, but they really spread it out. And right now, it looks like they got a 3-2 zone going. New player in the ball game for Lafayette, Takia Carter, a sophomore for the Lady Generals, wearing number 15 in white. Shot missed. Rebounded by Slade, but was falling out of bounds and had to save it back in. And DeBilzon comes away with it for Lafayette. Bennett. Slade closed in on her. Now a wide open 3, left it short. Rebounded by Lafayette, though, and Bennett has it out in the corner again. Skip pass across to DeBilzon. A minute 39 to play, first quarter. Lafayette in white, Western Hills in green. Here's a steal by Ritchie, and the ball loose on the floor, and a held ball will go to Lafayette.
Jump ball is the call.
Western Hills did a nice job there, sealing down their ankles, trying to put the pass into her, and they got on the floor to force the jump ball.
You know, I can remember when Western Hills was created as a high school. Matter of fact, it was my junior year of high school, and they actually became into the 41st District. At that time, the 41st District made up of Franklin County, Woodford County, Frankfort High, and Lexington Catholic.
Oh, yeah. It's been a day or two ago.
That's 30-some-odd years ago. So that would have been neat for Catholic to be in that district.
It would have.
But Western Hills came about on the western side of the capital city over there, just off the interstate. If you go by 64 headed towards Louisville, and you see this really strange building all of a sudden, that's the gymnasium. That's Cardwell Gymnasium. Didn't have a name back in the day when it was first made, but Cardwell Gymnasium now. Looks like a spaceship, basically. Pankins hits the first. A foul was on number 22.
Western Hills trying to push
Murovchik. Okay, Murovchik. I think I got it now.
Push
I knew I was going to get that name wrong, too. That was one of those names where you practice and practice and practice. So I apologize for the mispronunciation. I was trying my best before I got here to pronounce it, too. Ball knocked out of bounds.
Western Hills really needs a bucket here. It's a long scoring drought. Hankins gets loose, gets some free throws. They've really got to get something going now.
Manjet, okay. They give it in the right corner to Slade. Inside to True, still in there, Coach. Are you surprised with her 2 fouls?
Well, Coach has got to trust her at this point. He really doesn't want to let it stretch any further. And again, she got a good look. She just couldn't knock it down. And that's really going to frustrate them if they don't start to get, again, right in the middle of the zone. Got to make that shot against Lafayette.
Abram runs the point. Has it knocked away by Ritchie into the hands of True. True 1-on-4. Help coming, but knocked out of bounds by the trailer, Gar Carter, for Lafayette. So 29.3 to play in the first. As now Imani Conwell comes in, wearing 23.
Give Hankins a break here for the last 30 seconds.
And Imani is a little bit shorter than her sister. As True will handle the ball out between the midcourt stripe and the circle. And they get into their offense now. Here's a bad pass picked off by Gar Carter. Drives down, laid it in. And True had to give ground because of those 2 fouls.
She couldn't get her third there. Coach is yelling at her too.
Back to Ritchie. Let's a long 3 flies. The clock's running out. No good. And we're through 1 quarter of play here in Richmond, where Lafayette leads 15-3 over Western Hills. Back with more. You're watching the 11th Region Basketball Tournament on PrepSpin.com.
Hi, I'm Lee, and I'm happy with my smile.
And I'm Other Lee, and I ain't happy with my smile.
I went to White, Greer, and Maggard, and they fixed my smile for me.
And I never smile, and that's why I'm having some alone time here at dinner.
I love that I can go to White, Greer, and Maggard with all my questions.
And I love that I don't have to brush my teeth at night.
Don't be like this, me. Go to White, Greer, and Maggard for a picture-perfect smile.
Hey, great party.
Oh, thanks. Here you go. 1 hamburger, medium well.
This is well done.
No. That's medium well.
What? Are you calling me a liar? This thing is practically burnt.
That's it. You're not gonna come to my house and tell me how to cook a hamburger.
I don't really better.
You wouldn't do it there.
Gotta be crazy.
So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
Back to Paul S. McBrayer Arena, Alumni Coliseum. On the campus of Eastern Kentucky University, Darren Douglas along with Scott True, head basketball coach at Lexington Catholic. In a 3-2 zone with Conwell right in the middle. Give it to Slade on the lob. Backdoor cut and not ready for the pass. With Mervchik.
I think everybody thought that was what Lafayette's ball except the official. He's giving it back to Western Hills. Everybody headed to the other end, and he said, nope, stay here.
Yeah, I thought it was off of a Western Hills player, too. They give it deep. Ritchie, 3. Got it.
That's a big shot.
Mackenzie Ritchie, a senior, with her first field goal. It's 15-6. At 3, though, is the great equalizer. If you can get hot from there.
You have to hit some against that zone because you're not going to be able to go inside against it as much as you'd like.
They try to get it inside to Conwell, knocked away by Ritchie. Here's True driving on Abram, pulled up, no good, left it too strong. Might have been better served to go glass.
Yeah, I think she's worried about that foul, didn't want to pick up the charge. Abrams did a good job getting back.
And Pankins drives it down the lane, and True reaches in and pokes it away. Goes back to Lafayette underneath their own basket with a 9-point lead. 7-10 before halftime. Conwell, left baseline, 12-footer, too strong. Rebound on the backside by Pankins. Put it up, count it, and a foul.
Just went down in there, moved the smaller defender out of the way, got it, and then turned, put it up, and was fouled. She does that so many times a game. She's really, really good at it. And there's really not a whole lot you can do. She's just so big and strong.
Murvchek with her first foul, the 5th on Western Hills. And Pankins will try to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. It dances in and out. Rebounded by Slade. Lafayette now in a half-court trap. Looks like it's 2-2-1. Murvchek. High post Ritchie. Splits the defenders. Cut off. Back to Manjet, who hits it from 12.
Nice set there. Drew really handled it well there. Got out of the trap. Got it to a teammate. Got the nice easy jump shot.
Looking down low for Conwell. Can't get it to her. Gets it back to Abram. Pulls up a floater from 8. Missed it. Rebound and a foul. Rebounded by Bennett, but Conwell came in and just, I think, knocked down Murvchek.
She did. Going after the ball, ran through. It was a good call. It's a good hustle play by both players, though.
Kind of tough foul on Conwell because her teammate Bennett already come down for the rebound. True, it's a 2-2-1. Pankins on the back of that thing. Manjet had it knocked away from behind, and now the Bilzon has the ball loose on the floor. Went to the floor. Western Hills fans behind us running a walk.
It's a bang-bang play. I couldn't really see it if she walked or not, but they changed defenses. Lafayette changed defenses, and that's thrown Western Hills a little more aggressive now from Lafayette than they were earlier.
Bilzon drives baseline, gives off Pankins here on the left wing. Steps back, lets 3 go. Got it. That's what makes her more dangerous, too. She still has that outside shot as well. Manjet with it here. Double team, throws a pass, gets somehow through to True. True, fall away, off the glass, good.
She needed that one, get her confidence back a little bit.
Abrams straight away, down low Conwell, turned and a block by Murvchek, but a foul coming up on Western Hills, and that's Slade, that's 2 on her. Oh, Murvchek. I thought she had her hand on top of the basketball. I thought it was Slade that came down across the arm.
It really could have gone either way, but fortunately for Western Hills, it didn't go Slade's way.
Aisha Conwell.
Conwell will shoot 2, hits the first. Conwell is a 75% free throw shooter. Missed the second, but rebounded by the Bilzon. So from this point on, Western Hills will shoot 1 and 1. With 5.5 minutes to go, it's a long time to shoot.
Yeah. Western Hills is really struggling to defend the size of Lafayette, and it's leading to fouls.
Abram on the dribbles, keeps it over here to Bennett. Right in the corner now to Pankins, who misses the 3. Rebounded on the backside, though, by Ritchie for Western Hills. Tried to hit Manjet behind her, and the ball goes out of bounds.
A little impatient there. Need to slow down, bring that up. Lafayette had people back. It's still an 11-point game. A couple possessions, a couple good shots, and you're right back in it. And again, that Lafayette zone, you're trying to get there before they get set and force you to do some crazy things.
Now Western Hills has changed their zone to a 3-2 zone as well. Bennett. Is Lafayette content to play around the perimeter of this zone from Western Hills? Bennett steps in, 10-footer, no good, rimmed in and out, off the foot of Slade, and a good call by the official underneath.
Pankins made that happen. She dove in there at the last second and got a hand on it, hit it off Slade. Western Hills kind of hesitated, didn't real aggressively grab the rebound, and Pankins made it play for it.
And jet out, Anglin back in for Western Hills. You can tell the size difference just looking at this end of the floor. Bennett penetrates, gives it back out to Pankins. Pankins, left corner, Bennett. Left block now to Conwell, back out to Bennett. Usually if you're a coach, Scott, that you got to look down on get on the block, you want to look opposite where the ball came from first. Here's a three out of the corner by Abram, no good. Rebounded by Pankins, left hand, no good. And a foul coming up, is that on Conwell?
I believe so.
Or Abram. How about Abram? They both were there.
The foul number
Gave it to
24, Abrams.
Terry Abram.
That's her second, team
Her second.
third.
And Gar Carter will come to the scores table, not soon enough to get into the ball game to get Abram out. 4:03 to play in the first half, 21-10 Lafayette.
This is a big possession for Western Hills here. You got 3:57 before halftime. Get a bucket here, get it back, maybe back down to single digits.
Nerve check, no good. Rebounded by Pankins. Nice outlet to Bennett. 3-on-2, now 3-on-3 as Anglin and Ritchie hustle back. Here's Bennett for three, good. And again, Western Hills just backed off of her and let them have the three. Bennett was going to pass the ball, and then the defenders backed off. She said, well, I'll just let it fly.
Well, and that's the thing that you tell your kids all the time, and that's what Coach Ritchie, I'm sure, is expressing now. The ball's what scores, and you can't leave the ball. And everybody kind of went back and filled their spots and left her wide open at the three-point line. She's already hit two, and she made him pay by hitting the third one.
Well, part of that is non-communication with a young team, probably a little bit nervous.
I would say so. I mean, it certainly happened to us in the district tournament. You know, when you got young kids and they don't understand the importance of every possession, and then all of a sudden, well, this isn't mine, and you go to lead and you lead the ball, and a good team like Lafayette will make you pay for that, and that's what they did.
Well, where I do Georgetown College games, I'll tell you, Coach, it doesn't get any better because both those coaches over there with these two teams they've had this year, they all are hot. You hear them talk on defense. Talk.
Yes, communicate and let people know what you're doing.
It doesn't get any better the older they get, so you still got coaches up there screaming the same thing you guys are probably doing.
This is true.
24-10. I love doing this, but unfortunately I'm going to have to skip out on Thursday and Friday. I have my commitment down there. Of course, the Mid-South Conference tournament being played, men and women, down at the Civic Center in Frankfort. That's why this was moved this year to Richmond. Here's True with it. Go on the corner to Anglin. Skip outside to True at the head of the key. Drives, penetrates Anglin. Right on the baseline. Let a three go. No good. Rebounded by Gar Carter. And then a nice play by Ritchie and a foul coming up on Gar Carter. You hardly see that called as a foul, but I think that's a good call from the official.
She did. Ritchie got her body in between, and then she dove in on top of her. Just trying to get the ball back, but she did foul. And again, I mean, Western Hills is right there. It's a 14-point game. They had an open three, didn't get it to go. They just need a couple shots to go, and they're right in the game before halftime.
Probably two of the most active coaches you'll see on the sidelines, Coach Denton and Coach Ritchie, wearing that paint out over there. Ritchie with it deep, now to True. Back to a 2-3 zone now from Lafayette. So changing pretty much every other trip down the floor. Ritchie works on Conwell. Baseline cut off by Pankins, and now Pankins going to be called for foul number one. Or are they going to call him on Gar Carter? Conwell, who'd they call it on?
The foul number 33.
Conwell. That's her second, the team's fifth. And with 2:40 to play, Lafayette still has one foul to give here in the first half before Western Hills will be at the line. They inbounded deep to Mervchek, who bobbles it, tries to get it through double team, knocked away, recovers and gives it to Ritchie. Now it looks like 3-2 this time from Lafayette. True, nice bounce pass to Ritchie, who puts it up and in.
Nice set right there. That's a big bucket for them. Again, now get a stop, stay under control. You're right there. Not a bad set going in at halftime.
A beautiful look from Alexis True to her running mate, Ritchie. Here's Gar Carter. that was a rainmaker. That was way up there.
It was way up there. Tough shot. I'm sure Coach Ritchie would take that. With her making that, you just got to give something up to defend Pankins on the inside.
26-12. Lafayette now back to the 2-3. True. Minute 48, clock running. Nerve check with it. Ritchie driving. Goes right at Pankins, and a foul coming up on Kiara Pankins.
Did a nice job drawing the contact there, getting the shot up, and she can go to the foul line.
And for Pankins, that's foul number 1.
The foul is on number 22, Pankins. That's her first, team 6 at the line for 2.
And the first shot from Ritchie is no good.
Free throws, number 10, Ritchie.
Ritchie is 66% foul shooter for Western Hills, who don't shoot it all that bad from the foul line.
Nope.
Second one's good. Into the ball game comes Molly Lecomte for Western Hills to give Alexis True. But I tell you what, she played a long time with those 2 fouls, Coach. And
she did, and you get her out with a minute, about a minute 30 to go. Not let her pick up that third and give her a little break to boot.
Here's another aspect of Pankins' game. She would just bring it up on the dribble and a traveling call on Pankins.
Had to be something there.
Yeah.
I didn't know what they're going to call, a charge, a block, and then go with a walk. So,
well, I think it was probably a good no call on the block because there really wasn't a whole lot of contact. Pankins fell over the foot of Ritchie, who had already fallen before Pankins made contact.
And Coach Ritchie puts True back in. Going a little offense-defense here.
I'm going to trust her as a sophomore to not pick up that third foul. This one knocked away by DeVilzon, and a held ball will go to Western Hills on the alternating possession.
Again, it's just the length. She's so long and deceptive, and True just can't quite get that pass around her.
And True will run the point against a 2-3 zone now. True, right side on the dribble, deep to Manjet. Penetrates. Ritchie, right baseline, drives around a couple of Lafayette defenders. Found himself open, lost control of the dribble though, and then lost control of the ball. Conwell laid it in. It's Imani Conwell. Her first 2, and it's 28-13 Lafayette.
Ritchie was open. I think she was so wide open on the drive, she surprised herself and ended up dropping the ball. At least a quick transition bucket for Lafayette. Another turnover for Western Hills.
Try to get it into Slade, tucked away from behind by Pankins, and now Conwell had it, and then reaching in was Manjet to knock it off her foot and give it back to the Lady Wolverines.
Good hustle by Western Hills, not giving up, tipping the first one away, then knocking it off a Lafayette player, not giving up the easy layup.
Under 30 to play in the first half. Go down low. Slade missed the easy one. Got it back. Put it up. This time gets it.
And they need that. They need that inside play from her. They're going to stay competitive in the second half.
28-15. Here is DeVilzon. Pulls up. Has partially blocked. True comes out with it for Western Hills on the fly. To the middle of the floor.
I think Coach Denton was happy with that shot selection. I don't think Coach Rich is happy with that one.
Had it partially blocked by Bennett, though. Here's Conwell with time to go. Throws it up. No good. Nice job by Manjet to challenge the shot. And Lafayette will go to the locker room with a double-digit lead, 28-15. And neither side and neither coach, I think.
Yeah, can move the ball around, maybe take the last shot and force a 3 from the corner. Yeah, I don't think, gauging by the glare from the sidelines, I don't think either coach is very happy with those last 2 shots.
And 1 minute of the first half.
Probably not. Lafayette forced the shot in transition. Western Hills
definitely would not want to be in the locker room.
No, probably not.
Wearing a uniform right now, either side. 28-15 Lafayette. Coach True and I will be back with halftime. We'll go through the numbers, get you ready for the second half of action of the final first round game here in Richmond. Lafayette leads at Western Hills 28-15. The winner gets Bryan Station on Friday night. You're watching 11th Region Tournament Basketball on PrepSpin.com.
At Central Bank, We like to call ourselves your friendly neighborhood financial experts because we get to help an entire community of customers achieve their financial dreams. So whether you're opening a checking account or buying your first home, you've got a team of local experts to coach you all the way.
Wow.
See Bank of UK Athletics. Can do for your financial future with Central Bank.
How many times are you going to drive off with those things?
Official.
White, Greer, and Maggard, where a beautiful smile is just the beginning.
By the numbers, Whitaker Bank loves the Kentucky communities we serve.
Whitaker Bank supports 496 Kentucky schools.
Over 282,000 students benefit from Whitaker Bank's Kentucky education initiatives.
Whitaker Bank has contributed almost $441,000 to education programs for the advancement of Kentucky's youth.
We share your passion, Kentucky.
Love the bank that loves you back.
Whitaker Bank is uniquely Kentucky.
At Raising Cane's, we believe in one love. But creating one love is no simple task. Everything has to be served hot and fresh, not just hot. We use only 100% premium chicken tenderloins for a 0% chance of leftovers. We insist on the best ingredients for our fries, like potatoes. And, well, we can keep talking quality, or you can just eat it. Raising Cane's, one love.
Visit us today at one of our 6 Lexington area locations.
I'm not happy with my teeth. They're not straight enough.
Let me fix them for you.
No. You are not White, Greer, and Maggard.
I'm sort of like White, Greer, and Maggard. I'm local, love smiles, love to fix things.
No.
Sorta you isn't you. White, Greer, and Maggard, where a beautiful smile is just the beginning.
Back to Richmond, Kentucky, Eastern Kentucky University. We're at halftime of game number 2 tonight. Lafayette leads Western Hills 28-15. I want to apologize, Coach Thru. I pointed out, just glancing down at my roster, I've called the young lady Shelby Wilson, Amani Conwell. Correction, it's Shelby Wilson in the first half. So I apologize to Shelby and her family for misidentifying her.
Okay.
A learned a long time ago in this business, if you don't apologize real quick, you get called out real quick.
Probably somebody will let you know, yeah.
And most definitely will let you know. It's usually my mother. You know from experience of meeting my mother how she was. Halftime, we don't have the halftime. We do have the halftime number somewhere here, I thought. We do. I think those are in, aren't they?
That's Brown Station.
Brown Station. We had it here somewhere.
Well, if you look at, if you told Coach Ritchie at halftime he would be shooting 30% from the floor and 12% from the three-point line, and Lafayette would be shooting 46% from the floor and 50% from the three-point line, and you told him you were going to be down 13, he might have taken that. Because for Western Hills to win, the recipe for them to win is to shoot well and hope that Lafayette does not shoot well from the three-point line. And neither thing has happened so far. But again, late, if Western Hills could have kind of bucket or two, got it down to single digits, and it would have been a lot easier. I think the three in the corner they missed, that they forced up and then allowed a run out, some of those things they've got to correct. But they got some good shots. You just have to make them against Lafayette, and if you don't, they really make you pay for it on the other end.
Well, no surprise here. Well, actually, kind of surprised. Caroline Bennett leads Lafayette in scoring here at halftime with 9 points. She's 3 of 5 from the field, 3 of 4 from behind the arc. She has 4 rebounds for Lafayette, who only lead the rebounding battle over the much smaller Western Hills team by 2, 16-14. But Pankins has 8. 4 points for guard Carter, 2 points each for DeBilzon and Wilson, and 1 point for Aisha Conwell in the first half. For Coach Allison Denton's Lafayette Lady Generals, they shot 10 of 22 from the floor in the first half, so not a lot of shots up in the first half from Lafayette. 4 of 8 though from behind the arc. That's right now the difference in the ball game.
It really is a difference, yeah.
And then you look points in the paint though. You would think Lafayette with their size is the one that would be winning that battle. They are, but they're only winning it by 2 at 10-8.
Yeah, and I thought for Lafayette, I think, I'm sure Coach Denton will point out, they've had Hankins on the block a couple times, and Western Hills is shading her, but they got to get the ball inside there, because every time she's touching down the block, she's either scored and got fouled or both.
Right. 15-4 points off turnovers in favor of the Lady Generals. Second chance points, though, dead even at 2. Fast break points, 4-0. Lafayette winning the battle of the benches, 6-0. Western Hills has turned it over 12 times. A little tough for this young ball club from Frankfort to go against that 2-3 zone, and then Lafayette comes out and goes into a matchup 3-2 zone as well. So that changing defenses. Only 12 turnovers though, not bad though for a young team facing.
Well, and they got turnovers in bunches. They did 2 or 3 in a row, and that really hurt them. You know, if you look at the scoring, if you take out the start, first quarter Lafayette won 15-3, but the second quarter was 12-13. And it easily could have been, 15-13 in favor of Western Hills. And at Coach Ritchie, I'm sure he's going to tell them at halftime, we're right there. Just settle down. We need to make a couple more shots and make sure we get stopped from the other end. And if they can do that, maybe they can, again, I think the first 2 or 3 minutes is going to be big. Right. Hit a couple shots early, put some pressure on Lafayette. If Lafayette comes out and scores the first 6 straight of the second half, that's going to be trouble for Western Hills.
And the thing is, too, Lafayette owns that size advantage, but let's give Western Hills credit. They are really taking it to the much taller Lafayette team. They're not intimidated. I mean, they've gotten the ball where they wanted to on their offensive end, especially against that 2-3 zone. They've gotten in the middle of that zone on several occasions via either the pass or by dribbling off the bounce. So if they are able to knock some shots down there from inside the painted area, that makes things a little bit more uncomfortable for Lafayette. And one thing that, you look, I said 12 turnovers for Western Hills. Coach Denton for Lafayette may not be happy at halftime. The fact that her ball club has turned it over 9 times.
Well, and she's not going to be happy with that, especially because Western Hills hasn't pressed them either. Not a lot. They did a little bit toward the end of the half for a minute or 2. The other thing for Western Hills that may help, True has gotten to halftime now with the 2 fouls. She didn't get her third after picking up too early. If she just settles down a little bit, maybe knocks down a couple shots, that may help them. But Western Hills has got to flip this a little bit and put the pressure on Lafayette. Let Lafayette, we're supposed to win. We're the favorite. They're still around. And then maybe hit them with a, a press, timely press, maybe force a big turnover late or something along those lines, especially after a bucket. Get a bucket, hit a 3, cut it to single digits, and then press Lafayette. Maybe you get a turnover and get another easy one. But again, I think this first 2 or 3 minutes is going to be big. Western Hills needs to get a couple looks here early and cut this thing down. Or if Lafayette is a great front runner. If they start to stretch it and they get out in front of you, they will shut you down. They will step on you and keep you while you're down, and then they pull away from you.
The other thing I think is the key to this is Western Hills, you know, they trail by 13 here at the break. They have held their own on the glass, only trailing by 2 at the half on rebound, 16-14. So I think if you're Coach Ritchie, you can tell your ball club, hey, we've held our own against a much taller, much more physical team in Lafayette. If we could do the same in the second half and make some, get some shots to fall that we missed in the first half, we're right there. If we can get to the fourth quarter with it at 10 or less, that puts the pressure on them. There's no pressure on us. All the pressure goes to Lafayette.
And I think you hit the nail on the head. Get to the fourth quarter with a chance. Get to the fourth quarter with somewhere 10 or under. Not get true with 2 more fouls. Get her there with maybe just 2, maybe 3, where you can dial up the press a little bit and be a little more aggressive defensively. That will help them if they can do that. But again, I think for Lafayette, Coach Denton's looking at it. Look, we got to get the ball inside of Pankins, and we got to go out and put this team away because we don't want to let them hang around.
11th Region Tournament Basketball sponsored by White, Greer, and Maggard, Raising Cane's Chicken, Whitaker Bank, University of Kentucky Sports Medicine, Central Bank, Roberts Insurance, the Scholastic Ball Report, and our comrade Gary Ball, along with Doug Flynn and Leah Kirchhoff and Rick Pannell, all co-host with him at times, and Sutherland Chevrolet over in Nicholasville, and they want to tell everybody it's pretty good advice, don't text and drive. Scott Drew, alongside Darren Douglas here in Richmond, Kentucky. We're about 2.5 minutes away. Both teams back out on the floor. Look across the way. Coach Ritchie basically still talking to some of his players. I don't see him back out on the floor yet himself.
He's headed down back to the line, down to the student section.
Must be going down to talk to maybe his other daughter or a player that's in the stands over here for Western Hills. But look across the way, and I think that might be the most relaxed that we've ever seen Allison do.
She comes out and she says, I'm sure she says her say at halftime, comes out and lets it sink in. I'm sure her team will do a nice job in the second half of coming out ready to go. And again, if they score early, Western Hills has got to answer. Because if they get this thing to 17, 18, I know I've said that several times, but I think that's big because as much as maybe anybody other than Franklin County, Coach Sacker's team, who does a great job with it, when they get you down, they really snuff the life out of you. That zone looks like there's 100 of them out there.
Right.
You can't make shots, and then they're turning you over. And Western has got to prevent that from happening early here in the second half.
Much different styles the way they do it too. Basically, Franklin County will beat you into submission. They just I liken that to maybe a Ronda Rousey, where they just beat you down, where you just take your will to win, to compete. Whereas Lafayette will do it more so kind of the slow kind of death.
Yeah, it's more methodical. There's not as many runouts. You're down 8 or 10, and then you make a couple. You take a couple bad shots, of course, until they get a turnover, and all of a sudden you look up and they're down 16. And then the next thing you know, Pankins has got the ball, and she's at the foul line, and she gets both of them. Then it gets to 22-24 in a hurry, and they do a great job again of just taking your will away, and then you can't score, and then they've really got you in trouble.
And she's almost automatic from the foul line is Kiara Pankins. She, of course, has been through this 11th region tournament.
Absolutely.
And really, Lafayette has done a nice job of coming back, losing all they did a year ago to graduation, to go 24-7 coming into tonight. Really the only players that saw a lot of action for the Lady Generals last year were Pankins, Aisha Conwell, and that was pretty much it. As I looked down the roster, those were the only 2 players that saw a ton of action on the team a year ago.
And picking up Abrams really helps.
Yeah.
So, she's been a really nice addition for them. But they're athletic, they play well together, but the glue is Pankins on the inside because she can just hurt you inside and out. And again, I think she's key here to start the second half.
And of course, her expression never changes.
It does not. She is as emotionless as it comes and does a great job with it.
Abram to Bennett here on the right side. Closed out nicely by Anglin. This is Abram now running the show out top to Conwell. I tell you, they're very lucky here in Lexington. Any male or female, you can go down to the UK campus and watch two of the best point guards in the country in Epps and Euless.
Yes, sir. Again, forced turnover for Western Hills. Trying to force it into Pankins now, come down and get a bucket, and then make something to start the second half.
Well, good start defensively for the Lady Wolverines. Here's Ritchie to Anglin, now to True, and True will not be able to save it. Over and back, right here in front of us. True took a half step to the right to go beat the pass, and the pass went behind her.
Just a little bit forced, and again, the length coming at you, and you try to hook it around it, and then you ended up throwing it in the backcourt.
Tell you, any doubt, there's a couple of, of course, I know the bowling girl down in E-Town is pretty doggone good, but I've got one chance to watch Whitney Creech. Wow.
Yeah,
that's all you can say.
Too,
yeah, not bad. Wow.
And again, there's doubling down on the post. They forced the turnover.
Tried to hit Conwell, and Conwell didn't make a really exerted effort, though, to catch the pass, which was pretty good. It was away from the defender.
Well, Western Hills is dropping off now and doubling down, and they pick off two passes. And Lafayette trying to force it in there. They just got to find some offense on this team.
Foul on DeBill's on was her first. The team's first here in the second half, and as relaxed as Coach Denton was a moment ago, there went the fire.
It did.
Didn't take long.
Did not take long.
Here's True. Left side to Ritchie. They'll skip it outside to True. And around it goes to Manjet. Anglin here on the left side. Back to True. To Manjet. Boy, I will say this for Western Hills, pretty good passing team. They've had trouble at times with this zone, but pretty sharp, crisp passes. Here's True, three, left of the free throw circle. Bounces high, bounces down. No good, but Manjet with a rebound on the backside. Just outworked Conwell and then throws a bad pass. Abram working on Ritchie, and Ritchie comes in and doesn't allow her to get the shot up.
Much like in the district finals, Abrams gets the rebound, pushes it out, gets to the rim, goes to the foul. Again, a great look by True, just didn't go for it.
Well, I like the fact that she didn't hesitate.
No, she did not.
And that's, you miss a couple of shots. No good. From Abram. Not a lot of foul shots shot in the first half at all.
Well, both teams playing zone, and both teams, not really aggressive. The Lafayette trapped a little bit, but again, Lafayette is missed both free throws. Western Hills just can give some offense here.
Abram missed both free throws, and Manjet with another rebound for Western Hills. Here's Ritchie. Ritchie drives, cut off, gives back to Slade. Slade has her pocket picked by Gar Carter. Drives down, put it up, knocked away by True. Back to Lafayette. Slade would have been better suited shooting that little 15-footer from the right elbow.
You can't put it down on the floor in the middle of that zone. Somebody's going to come knock it away from you.
Here's a ball taken away in midair by Slade. True with Pankins back. Drives down, left hand blocked by Pankins. Off to the Bilzon. Working on Slade. Charging.
Really, that's 5 turnovers to start second half for Lafayette. But Western Hills has not been able to knock anything off the lead.
And Western Hills actually has gotten a couple of really nice looks. They've had a couple of turnovers themselves. And then the block shot by Pankins.
The big stat for Western Hills is 11%, 1 of 9 from the three-point line.
Ouch.
That's got to improve if they're going to have a chance here.
Here's True, backdoor to Manjet. Up over Pankins, glass good.
Nice shot. Beautiful setup and pass from True, too.
Manjet uses exactly what you should do for all the young folks out there watching, all the young players. That glass is your friend. There's not a rule against not using it. Bennett to Abram. I think that sometimes that's where the college game has been a negative to the younger players. They like to shoot it directly instead of using the glass. Slade with a nice job defensively on Pankins, and then a unforced turnover. Slade threw it behind Manjet.
And really, no defense there. Just take your time and get it to the guard. You got to stop. Coach Ritchie really frustrated with that one.
And Alexis True looked at her senior post player and said, hey, I'm standing right here. Give it to me. Pankins with it. Drives down the lane. Runs into Slade. And
hate how many times she does that a game. She just swings momentum back her team's way. Just a good aggressive attack.
and she went to the offhand, too, from about 10 feet. Slade out of the corner for three. Shot it way too strong. Rebound on the backside by Bennett. Here's Pankins. And she's just as comfortable, and she'll probably shoot, I bet, 45% of her shots in the course of a game with that left hand, that offhand. Here's Bennett for three. No good. Gavil's on with a rebound. Has a shot, but she turned back in the defense. Slade blocks the shot by Gar Carter.
She's surprised how open she was and turned the wrong way.
Did a nice job of getting inside position for the rebound. And here's True. Out of control. Dribbled off her leg. Out of bounds.
Western Hills is frustrated now. They can't seem to find any offense against the zone. And it's tough for Coach Ritchie to simulate that type of pressure in practice and that kind of length.
The only way you could with the pressure is put 6 or 7 players on the scout team defense. Pankins, 12-footer, left baseline, no good. Rebound on the backside by Abram, who brings it out on the dribble now to Bilzon. Abram, right block, Pankins. Goes to the left hand, left it short. The ball goes out of bounds off of Slade, back to Lafayette.
The size is wearing on Western Hills now because now the guards for Lafayette are crashing in and they're getting the rebounds because Western Hills not doing a great job getting a body on them.
Again, Pankins goes that offhand. Drives up, 10-foot floater with the left hand again.
Such a tough shot. Really a big-time play.
It makes me look like I know what I'm talking about because the last 2 trips down, she goes to the offhand.
She did do that.
Thank you, Kiera. Appreciate it. Here's True, has Gar Carter in a timeout for Coach Ritchie. Full timeout, we'll take it with him. This is the 11th Region Basketball Tournament on PrepSpin.
At Raising Cane's, we believe in one love. But creating one love is no simple task. Everything has to be served hot and fresh, not just hot. We use only 100% premium chicken tenderloins for a 0% chance of leftovers. We insist on the best ingredients for our fries, like potatoes. And, well, we can keep talking quality, or you can just eat it. Raising Cane's, one love.
Visit us today at one of our 6 Lexington area locations.
I'm not happy with my teeth. They're not straight enough.
Let me fix them for you.
No. You are not White, Greer, and Maggard.
I'm sort of like White, Greer, and Maggard. I'm local, love smiles, love to fix things.
No.
Sorta you isn't you. White, Greer, and Maggard, where a beautiful smile is just the beginning.
Back to McBray Arena, Alumni Coliseum. Darren Douglas, Scott True. 3.5 minutes to play in the third. It's 32-17 as we have our cohort throwing lifesavers at us. So yeah, here's Manjet going to be bailed out as she tried to force her way through 2 Lafayette Generals, and a foul coming up.
I like the aggression. She probably got fouled on the first attempt. They didn't call, and then she got to call on the second one. So, again, penetrate the zone, try to draw the defense in, and then maybe kick it out for the 3.
Well, I thought they were going to give her the benefit of the doubt for 2 shots, but they said she was on the floor. Nice catch by True in traffic. Manjet steps through, passes to Ritchie, who finds Zanglin on the right block for the lay-in.
Very good ball movement. Very good ball movement. Good reversal. Causes zone to shift and then get the easy shot.
32-19 Lafayette. Gar Carter, right wing Bennett, drives baseline. Cut off, back to Abram. Skips it to the Bills on the left side. They lob it high post to Gar Carter. Looks, back out to Abram. Left corner to Bills on. Fakes, gets around True. To Gar Carter at the post. Bennett. Right now, no Kiera Pankins on the floor for Lafayette. Bennett drives baseline, pulls up, 8-footer, got it. First points of the second half for Caroline Bennett. 11 now. And it's 34-19 Generals. True with it. It's a 2-3 zone. They lob baseline to Anglin. Hit it off the back, the bottom part of the backboard there.
How she got that pass through there, but she did.
And a nice catch by Anglin. Here's Abram out of control, and a blocking foul coming up late on Ritchie. Coming up tomorrow night, boys action of the 11th region as they get underway. Game number 1 at 6:30 will be Lafayette, runners up for the 43rd district against Franklin County, winners of the 41st district. And the first one is no good from Abram. Into the game comes Shelby Wilson. Game number 2, it will be a good one, and I'll give it to you in a second. As Abram hits the second, 35-19 Lafayette. That is their biggest lead of the night. It was 15 in the first half. That's 16 now.
Yeah, and again, they're stretching it a little bit, begin to pull away, and they're stretching the lead actually with Pankins on the bench, which is big for them.
This is true with it. 1:45 left in the third, poked away by DeBilzon. Game number 2 tomorrow night at 8:15. That will be Gary Ball along with Coach DeForest. Joining him, I'll bring you first game with Coach Don Atkins. Madison Central and Scott County.
It'll be a good one.
It'll be crowded, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Here's a nice pass from DeBilzon over to Gar Carter.
Another turnover. And this lineup for Lafayette without Pankins is a little quicker and a little more aggressive out of the zone.
And boy, some long arms out front with Abram and Gar Carter. Here's a steal by DeBilzon. A breakaway, True in pursuit, comes, boy, nice hustle by Alexis True to knock it away from DeBilzon and save a basket.
And she plays really hard, did a nice job sprinting in front. You just can't turn the ball over and give Lafayette those runouts.
Murachek back into the ball game for Western Hills, replacing Manjet. They lob it on the block to Conwell, turns, blocked by Slade. Gar Carter's over will get it, and a foul coming up on Ritchie on the reach in. Nice job defensively, though, by Taylor Slade to deny the shot by Conwell.
Again, it's the guards from Lafayette now. They're beginning to dominate the boards from the top. They're crashing in on the zone, and it's causing Western Hills some problems.
Abram puts it up, partially blocked by Slade, who comes down with it. Gives it off to Ritchie, and Ritchie will back it out. 37-19, under a minute to play here in the third quarter. Murachek gives it off to Ritchie. Ritchie on the dribble. Cut off, back to True, gets down to Slade, and Slade got herself underneath the bucket and hit the bottom side of the rim. Wilson driving, steps through, glass, no good. Rebounded by Gar Carter, though. Has it stripped away by Murachek, just taken away from her. Off to Ritchie. Right side to True. Murachek tried to get it down low to Ritchie. Bodies everywhere. Rebounded into the hands of DeBilzon. Off to Wilson. Laid it up. Got it.
Western Hills is fatigued now. Slade and True really haven't had any rest. Neither is Ritchie. They're tired, and the size is really wearing on them.
Shot late coming up from Ritchie, and that's through 3. 39-19 Lafayette looking for a semifinal date on Friday night. It's Lady Generals by 20, back with the fourth quarter here in Richmond. This is the 11th Region Basketball Tournament on PrepSpin.
I'm not happy with my teeth. They're not straight enough.
Let me fix them for you.
No. You are not White, Greer, and Maggard.
I'm sort of like White, Greer, and Maggard. I'm local, love smiles, love to fix things.
No.
Sorta you isn't you. White, Greer, and Maggard. Where a beautiful
Back here to Eastern Kentucky University. And the girls' 11th Region Tournament Lafayette looking for a semifinal date opposite Bryan Station, who knocked off Madison Central earlier tonight in game number 1. Of course, last night, Henry Clay and Franklin County knocked off their opponents to reach Friday night's first semifinal game. That one will be a real dandy coming up on Friday night, Franklin County and Henry Clay.
It will be. It will be. Regional finalists from last year, rematch of that championship game. And, of course, Livers for Henry Clay did not play last night, was out with the flu. Here's Miracek with the 3, good from the right wing. And now some man-to-man pressure from Western Hills. The foul coming up on Miracek, reaching in on Kiera Pankins. Miracek only a sophomore, and Pankins just got both hands on the ball. When she gets both hands on it, you're going to have a tough time knocking it away from her. You almost have to foul her to get it from her. Now Western Hills is going to try to go man-to-man and increase the pace of the game a little bit, try to get back in it. First time tonight the Wolverines go man-to-man. Abraman picked her pocket. Was the senior Ritchie, and then Ritchie going to be ridden down to the floor, and Abram going to be called for the foul, I believe.
He fouls on number 24.
Again, Ritchie plays really hard, got after a little bit. Abram put it in front of him, tried to go by her, and Ritchie took it away from her.
That's 3 fouls now on Abram, and the team's 4th. They get it out high to Ritchie. 3 left of the circle, back rim, no good. Conwell claims the rebound for Lafayette. Ahead it goes to Gar Carter. Dribbled it off her foot, but chases it down the left corner. Now to Bennett, who gives it to Abram. Lafayette running a little motion offense. There's Pankins, left of the circle, puts it on the floor, goes back to the left, and backs it out.
Slade did a nice job of keeping her in front of her and not let her get that angle to the rim. But this is where she's dangerous, because now you've really got to pack it in or she's going to go straight to the hole and draw the foul.
Drives down the left side, left hand, glass good.
You have to cut her off. You have to make her take a jump shot, then you're leaving somebody else.
And she's kind of got one direction. It's straight ahead when she has the ball in her hands like that.
She is a downhill driver, that's for sure.
True had an open 3, passed on it. Miracek now back to True. I like Alexis True's game, but sometimes she passes up some shots. Here's 3 for Ritchie, no good. Rebounded by Pankins. Pankins out on the dribble, has it stripped from behind by Ritchie. Bodies everywhere again. Western Hills has it. Here's True, drives on Bennett. Glass too strong. Miracek keeps it alive, then has it skip off her hands out of bounds.
Let them play a little bit. There's a lot of contact there on both ways, and then a little bump down there on the layup. They're just letting them play. And that really favors Lafayette because they're the bigger, stronger team.
Well, Mackenzie Ritchie went down on the floor. Looked like she got maybe that right arm trap between a teammate and a player from Lafayette. I couldn't see the number, but she's up playing. Abram to Pankins on the left wing. Lets a 3 fly from there. No good. Rebounded by Gar Carter. Might have gotten away with a push.
Again, the rebounding from the guard position for Lafayette's been big tonight.
Man-to-man from Western Hills this time. Pankins on the floor. Steps through. Blocked, but a foul coming up on Manjette.
It's so hard to guard them, man, because she can do that. And you can't really guard her one-on-one. And when you have to go man, this is where she really hurts you. And again, you can't foul her because she shoots about 85% from the line.
Well, she's also very creative in how she gets her shots.
She does. She uses her body extremely well. She can use her right and her left hand, as you pointed out earlier, and that's just, you're going to get fouled when you're able to do that.
And she was getting ready to go left hand there when Manjette reached in. Hits the first free throw to Pankins. For Pankins now, that's 15, and we get a whistle.
Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot use bells or...
I hear a cowbell up in the stands. An artificial noisemaker, so the official turned around immediately to the public address announcer and said, make that announcement, please. And Pankins with the second one, also good. 43-22 in favor of Lafayette. Hasn't been pretty, though, for Lafayette.
And again, when you like things, you can point out. Coach Denton's got some things that she'll point out to them as they get ready for Friday.
Good hustle by Maggard to chase down a loose ball and then has it knocked away from behind by Bennett. Kind of like that. Bennett just got outworked by Maggard there. Had position, but really didn't go attack the basketball on the rebound.
Well, Western Hills is not going to quit. They're going to play hard. They're going to keep coming at you. They've played that way all year, and they'll continue to do that here.
The Bills on in for Conwell. Blocked from behind is Miracek by Bennett. Here's Pankins leading the break down the middle of the floor. Steps up, and a whistle and a foul on Ritchie, I believe. Nope. On Alexis Thru.
That's Lafayette's best post player, taking an outlet pass, driving down the court, going to the rim, and getting fouled. So she's a threat from all 5 positions.
You know, amazing how she has the creative ability to be a wing player for a couple of years at the varsity level. They drop down to the block. The first one hits the front of the rim and drops through. And then to be able to go down to the block and become effective down there as well. But of course you had Thomas down there. And I can't remember the young lady from a couple of years ago, tall blonde. I can't remember her name.
I can't even.
Yeah, totally escaped me. I can see her right now. And just, of course, a lot of my friends would say that's just old age creeping in.
Pankins with 18 points now.
Getting towards her average of 21 per game. Down low to Slade. Slade has trouble catching the basketball. Somehow forced it up. Pankins got a hand on it. Gar Carter driving. Splits 2 defenders. Missed the shot. And the Bills on going to be called for foul number 4 over the back.
Again, I'm sure Coach Denton will take that aggressiveness going after the boy there. Did a nice job getting in there.
So the Bills on with 4 fouls now. The only player in the game for Lafayette in significant foul trouble. Maggard also has 4 for Western Hills. Actually only has 1 foul. Pardon me. Thru. Picks it up right at the timeline as they rolled it in to Ritchie. Thru. Bounces down low to Miracek, who got free, and boy, that thing danced all the way around the entire rim and dropped through.
Nice set. Good look. Had Pankins pinned up the lane and got the little layup.
45-24, Lafayette by 21. The Bills on, left corner 3, in and out. Ritchie did a nice job of blocking Bennett out, but Bennett just too tall, and it stays with Lafayette.
And that's why their size wears on them. Even though you did a good job, you can't quite get the rebound just because they're big and long.
Yeah, but a nice job, though, by Ritchie to block out.
Well, she did a nice job.
Again, Bennett with a nice job of not fouling because she didn't reach over. She's kept her hands straight up to keep the ball alive.
Straight up. And that's when, as a coach, you have to tell them, I know it's tough, but you got to create more space. You got to back her up another step. And again, you do that the whole game against somebody who's bigger and taller, maybe a little stronger than you, and you get to the fourth quarter and your legs are gone. And that's what Lafayette does to you.
Well, tomorrow night we have a couple of really interesting matchups. Franklin County's boys, champions 41st, take on Lafayette and Ross Jenkins. And could be an interesting battle because that Franklin County team will play just like their head coach played. Tony Wise will they'll give you every ounce of energy they got.
Tony and I both graduated from Scott County High School, and he's done a nice job down at Scott County this year.
And then, of course, if you want to come to the second game, you better get here early.
You better be here for the first game.
Because half of Richmond will be here, and I guarantee you half to 3/4 of Georgetown will be here. Scott County, Madison Central.
Yes, you are.
Long-time rivals, and they have had some dandy matchups in the past. 4:01 to play in the ball game. 45-24 Lafayette with a 21-point lead.
The girl you were thinking of earlier from Lafayette was Sarah Cooley.
That was it. I knew the last name. I could see the last name. I just couldn't think of her first name. I don't want to give the last name, but we have a shaken up Lafayette General, and that's Abram. I think maybe gotten a finger in the eye as the ball came loose, and they both went to the floor to get it. I believe that was Mackenzie Ritchie that dove on the floor too, and her finger just caught Abram in the eye. Unintentional, of course, but doesn't take any of the pain out. Now, Sarah Cooley. I could not think of her name, and appreciate whoever sent us the text or the tweet. Is that on Twitter, William? Is that on Twitter? They sent that in. Appreciate it for that. Sometimes in this business, been in as long as Gary and I have, you see so many names, and you can see faces And then the name eludes you.
Yeah, she was a very nice player.
Very
for
nice
Lafayette.
player.
Did a lot of good things. Got the opportunity to play in college. And again, Pankins on the perimeter then, and now she's down on the post. And speaks of the diversity of her game, the variety she's got, and I think she's able to do.
I think Thomas actually went to Penn State.
She did.
Of course, Dee Gibbons down at Western. I can't remember the point guard from that group last year, but they a very nice team last year. I mean, free throw good from Pankins. Pankins now with 19, or 20, I should say.
Right at her average. Has played a really nice game. Has really dominated when Western Hills is forced to go man-to-man. And she just opens up the floor, and you let her go, and you really can't stop her unless you double-team her.
46-24, 3:44 to play. And Pankins probably done for the night now. 21 for the junior. Right on her average. So it's 47-24, 3:44 to play. And again, boys action tomorrow night as the girls take a couple of nights off to their semifinals on Friday night. Slade, left corner, out to Manjet. Down low to Miracek. Boy, she was just a couple inches taller.
And again, you're having to throw through and over so many long arms, and then you ended up making the passes a little too tall for your teammate to catch.
But a good look, though, by Manjet.
It was a very good look. It's the right idea.
Yep.
Just got to execute it a little better.
And Miracek made herself available, too, by stepping from the short corner to the block and timeout Lafayette. We'll keep it right here. Again, sponsors for our broadcast and telecast. We hope you enjoy every minute and second we bring of the girls and the boys 11th Region Tournament here. And you can join us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. William, what's our Twitter account? If you'll put it up there, we'll let everybody see that and visit us at Twitter. And you see the Twitter account there, twitter.com/PrepSpin. And William and I have been doing this for a while now. Been all over, not only the state of Kentucky, we've been to Pennsylvania together, we've been to Virginia together, so longest ride I've ever been on was the one to Pennsylvania, Reading, Pennsylvania.
Can't say I've been to Reading.
As part of the Great American Rivalry Series, a couple of schools about 3 miles apart. That's close.
Yes,
Here is Nabilzon to Bennett, who came to help her. New player in the ballgame for Lafayette now is number 21. Is Carson Priggy, the 8th grader. Number 21 in white. And I believe I know her father.
And Lafayette's kind of backed it up now and a little bit younger out there, letting some younger kids play, get to that regional tournament experience. And Western Hills is trying to get really aggressive now. Press, turn them over, and at least make it a little more competitive here in the last 3 hours.
I'm scanning the Lafayette crowd across the way, and I don't believe I see her dad, if it's who I think it is. Give it to Slade, who splits the double team and draws a foul. I believe that's going to be on Conwell. Nope. They give it to Bennett. So foul on Bennett's her first. It's the team's 7th, and at the line will be Taylor Slade for 2. Slade tonight, tough night. 1 of 6 from the floor, but she does have 8 rebounds for the Western Hills Lady Warriors. She hits the first free throw.
She's been on that interior dealing with Pankins the rest of the night. And again, that just wears on you. It's very tough. She's played a good game. She's had some shots maybe she'd like to have back, and still, it's awfully tough when you're beating and banging against Pankins most of the night.
See, a lot of people don't realize when you're concentrating on the defensive end, sometimes it takes a lot away from your offense.
Sure,
it really does. Bennett ahead to Wilson, behind the back right here in front of us. Gets her free. Nice pass down low. This is Amani Conwell, who missed the layup, but I think it was because Slade got a hand on it, forces it up, no good. True with the rebound. And here's True with it on the right side. Back to Ritchie. Urchek, left wing, no, left it short. Rebound on the backside by DeBillazon. Middle of the floor, Bennett, right wing, lets it fly. No good. Rebounded by Conwell, though. Fall away, no good. Bennett wades in to get the rebound and brings it back out on the dribble and gives to Wilson straight away. 2:15 to play is all that's left before Lafayette punches their ticket to the semifinals on Friday night. This is Prigge. Bennett out of Wilson. Like that set Lafayette just ran. They ran a staggered screen, a double screen on each side of the lane as Prigge ran it. And a foul coming up on Western Hills.
We have to go to the foul line and get her name in the stat book here.
Good size for an 8th grader. Probably what, about 5'9" maybe?
About that. Playing the guard spot.
And only an 8th grader. Kind of fun to say that sometimes.
Yeah.
And the older I get, the further away it seems from my 8th grade year.
Well, when you're a coach and you're putting one in a varsity game, you really like to say it.
Oh, yeah.
You've got 5 more years for that. So.
Yep. They give it around to Murchik. Down low to Slade. Bounces to Ritchie. A lot of heat on that bounce pass from Slade. And Slade gets on the floor.
Should have taken that one on up and shot that one.
With Sidney McIntosh, a sophomore, number 20 in white for Lafayette in the ball game for the first time tonight.
Slade gets a nice ovation. She heads out.
For the final time in her Western Hills career. They try to get it ahead to Conwell, and Manjet wanted to see what it looked like on the other side of the press table over here to our left. And everybody ran off. Nobody's going to help her. Nice step back by Wilson. Left it too strong. McIntosh with the rebound and put it in. That's been the difference in the second half that's kept this lead at a comfortable level for Lafayette and actually expanded is the rebounding of the guards. Conwell off to Wilson. Trying to go behind the back, got it caught on her hip. And gave it up to McIntosh. Prigge. Another player into the ball game is Destiny Daniels, a senior, number 12 in white. Conwell with a nice step through in the left hand off the glass. Monty's also a senior. Off to True. This Western Hills team is going to be good for the next couple of years. Got a lot of young players. Lafayette going to be just reloading.
They are.
With the youth they have, and whistling a foul away from the ball, and I think they're going to get Prigge. No.
The foul on number 35,
Conwell. For Lafayette now, we have a couple new players. Lamia Campbell, number 2 in white, a freshman. And the younger Pankins, Elise Pankins, number 11, and just a 7th grader. And the free throw from True, way short.
She's exhausted. She's been out there all but about 30 seconds tonight.
And if there's not a better example for how important your legs are on a shot, whether it be a free throw or a jump shot, right there, Alexis True.
She's played a lot of minutes, played awfully hard tonight, had to work awfully hard to get anything done.
Campbell with the basketball will run the point. Gives off to Pankins. Boy, she resembles her sister a whole lot, doesn't she?
She does.
Not a bad young lady to learn from, your older sister. They lob it down low to Daniels, off her hands and into the hands of Anglin. Here come the Lady Wolverines into the ball game for them. Number 5. How did I wind up 2 Lafayette roster? We tell me it's Molly Lecomte, number 5. Also in the ball game is number 20. And it's Brianna Wingfield, a freshman. Now we get number 50, Kennedy Williams, a freshman.
44 is Shelby Dews.
She's also a freshman. And number 4, and of course we don't have her name on the roster. Number 4 is for Western Hills is another Lecomte as well. So time runs out and Lafayette wins it 51-26 over Western Hills. A game Western Hills Ball Club just too much. Lafayette interior play, and then the guards for Lafayette took over in the 4th quarter. 51-26 Lafayette. We'll be back with the final numbers. Wrap this one up tonight. Get you set for boys action tomorrow night. Franklin County Lafayette game 1. Scott County, Madison Central in game number 2 We'll get you set for all that and more. This is the 11th Region Tournament on PrepSpin.com. Back at Paul S. McBrayer Arena on the campus of Eastern Kentucky University inside Alumni Coliseum. The final score tonight, 51-26 in favor of Lafayette over Western Hills. Darren Douglas, Scott True, Lexington Catholic head boss for the Lady Knights over there in Lexington. And Coach, just looking down here at the stats, it bore out what we talked about in the pregame. Pankins, if she got it down low, she was either going to get fouled or get the bucket or both. Tonight, they counter only with 20 points tonight in 24 minutes of action. 7 rebounds for the junior on 6 of 14 shooting, 7 of 10 from the foul line. Pretty remarkable how she just gets things done on the block. She's not flashy. She just gets it done.
She does, and she's such a dominant player on both ends of the floor because she blocks shots tonight too. And you wouldn't think she would be able to do as much of that without fouling, and she does. She plays without fouling. She really makes it very difficult when you have to go man-to-man against them. She dominates the game on both ends, and the other girls do a really nice job of feeding off of that. Their threes early came when they were doubling down on her, so she's just a great player.
51-26. It was a dominant performance in the second half from Lafayette. 23. They outscored Western Hills 23-11 after the break, and really just their size, strength. Just too much inside. Then the guards got involved on the glass in the fourth quarter and really kept the lead at a comfortable distance. And really, it's not pretty how they play, but you can't argue 25 wins.
It's very effective. And the thing is, tonight for Western Hills, I'm looking at the stats, and 2 of 15 from the three-point line, 13%. And you just can't do that against that zone. But again, that's a longer, quicker zone. The shooters feel more pressure because of the length and the speed coming at them than what they normally see. And then you get in, you can't find any rhythm on offense, and all of a sudden you go from down 10 to down 22. And then you've got Pankins, who's the great run stopper, because anytime you hit a shot, she'll come back down the other end and answer and get to the foul line.
38% shooting for Lafayette tonight, 18 of 47. A couple of areas I think Coach Denton would definitely want to clean up before Friday night. One is turnovers. They had 17 tonight at Lafayette against a Western Hills team that really wasn't pressuring them too badly. So you turn it over 17 times against that.
And they're going to see a lot more pressure from Bryan Station on Friday, and it'll be a quicker game. And they certainly don't want to turn it over at that clip, because that could even be more turnovers on Friday to give Bryan Station opportunities to get out and run the floor and get layups.
Now the good thing is 10 assists on 18 made field goals.
And a lot of assists tonight. They move the ball well. Again, they use their length, their speed. And they just play well together, and they do what they do. And it's very effective for them, and it worked well tonight. It'll be a different challenge on Friday. Bryan Station's every bit as athletic as Lafayette is.
Final numbers for total points. Mackenzie Ritchie led Western Hills in scoring as they do not place any players in double figures. She had 8 points. 5 points for Montana Murachek. And I apologize for the mispronouncing of that name as well. We would love to have pronunciations before we get on the air. I was trying to do my best, just looking at it, trying to do it by sight. 4 points for Catherine Manjet and Taylor Slade. 3 points for Alexis True. 2 points for Casey Anglin. Maddie and Molly Lecomte, Brianna Winkfield, along with Shelby Dews and Kennedy Williams, all got into the ball game, along with, I don't think I saw Katie Redmond tonight, but they all got in the ball game and failed to score. Lafayette led in scoring by Kiara Pankins with 20 points, 11 points for Caroline Bennett, 6 points for Takia Gar Carter, 4 points for Shelby Wilson, 3 points for Terry Abram, 2 points for Armani Conwell, along with Lindy Dibazon, and Aisha Conwell had 1 point for Lafayette. Lafayette goes to 25-7, and they are now the final piece to the semifinal puzzle for the girls' 11th region tournament. Game number 1 on Friday night will be Franklin County. And I went totally blank. Henry Clay. I went totally blank there. And then Lafayette against Bryan Station in game number 2. Tomorrow night from McBray Arena here in Richmond, it's boys action of the first round. Franklin County and Lafayette at 6:30 will be on there at 6:15, followed by, get here early, Madison Central, Scott County, the nightcap at 8:15. I'll be on the air at 6:15, and I'll be joined by Coach Donnie Atkins, and Lee DeForest will join Gary Ball for game number 2. For Scott True on color, Gary Ball, William Warfield, and a whole cast of thousands we've been here before. Again, 51-26 Lafayette. So long from Richmond.